about understanding arrays. Okay, so first you need to understand why we need an array. Okay, so if in the absence of an array you need to define multiple variables. So for instance, if you're building a human resource system and you need an employee salary, so if you do not have an array, you would put like the salary 0, let's say 30, right? Let's say I'll start with 5 Bitcoin per year, and then we have salary 1, which could be 9, right? And then we could have a salary 2, which could be let's say 10, and then salary 3 could be let's say 12, right? So these are how many variables are these? 3 variables, right? So 5 variables actually, if you see on the screen. It start from 0 and go all the way 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and one more actually. I need salary 4 is equal to 15, right? So these are Bitcoin salary per year. And let's move on now. If we want to print these salaries, we have to individually handle these. So if I say print out salary 1, salary 0 is equal to and then I will do percentage %d, and similarly I will do salary 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will do all of it like this, like this, and I can copy that, and later I can come back and change these IDs. 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is we are first understanding why we need an array. Unless you understand why you need an array, you will not be able to really build your concept on the array. So I'm going to put a slash n so that everything is printed on the next line like this, right? And then we have backslash n here. And what I need to do now is I need to put all these variables here: salary 0, comma salary 1, comma salary 2, comma salary 3, comma salary. Now the problem with this method is that if it is like 5 variables, that's fine. But if you have, let's say, 1,000 people's salary you want to store into something, then you need 1,000 variable, and you want to be able to keep up with those. And you will also understand in the 2-dimensional array that how this corresponds to their ID, how this can correspond to their pay rise and other things. So when we do the 2-dimensional array in next lecture, you'll see that. So if I run this, okay, and I would need to select C here. This is online GDB. So here you go. So you see here you have 5, 9, 10, 12, 15. So that is okay for 5, but if it is like I said 1,000, that would be a problem. So what is another way to do this, right? So let's find an alternate array, and what we do is we print here a line, okay, and then we do the same thing through an array. And how we print a line? We simply do this, and it will print a line, and underneath whatever the program I'll write, that will be the program for the array. So if I now define an integer, let's say array, let's say HR array, okay, and I say I need 5 elements in that array. By putting just this, what you see on the screen will actually create an array of 5 elements. And let me explain you what I mean by that. If just give me a second, I'm gonna go and record the screen. Sorry about that. It's a I need to go there. I'm not really I think I got a screen record here. No, this is okay. Screen record. Okay. Screen notes actually I need. Yeah, here we go. So if when I create this, array, what actually happens there, right? So it creates the 5 elements of an array like this, right? Like this. So if I say HR, so name would be HR in the same manner. And if it's a caps, it will be cap. It will be, if it's a small letters, it will be small letter. So this is how it is going to get created into the memory. So when I say 5, it starts with 0, okay, like this, and it goes up to,
Isn't that other way?
yep, it goes up to 4. Yes. So now when I created this, the next thing I need to do is I need to put values in it. So how would I do that? I would say is equal to, and I start this, and what were the values? First salary is 5, so it will go into when I put this command there, the first salary will go into 5, and that's where the 5 will be stored at 0, HR sub 0, because HR is now up to 5, so it starts from 0. So first element is HR sub 0. If I want to print this, I would access this by simply saying HR, okay, and then sub, okay, and that is basically 0, okay, HR sub 0. So if I simply print this using print command, okay, which you can, by the way, I'm finding it hard to write printf here. The reason is because I don't have a pen, so but just for your understanding sake, I would make an effort like this. And obviously you need to do percentage %d because it is a percentage %d like this, okay, comma. And if you do this, and on the code, how would we do this? We would do this, and I'll show you how would we do this. So let's basically go first further up and put other values, 9, then we have 10, then we have 12, then we have 15. Now if I want to visualize this, and that would be basically 9 will go into 1, right, and 10 will go into 2, then I have 12, it will go here, 3, and then I have 15, which will go here, okay. And that's how the array HR is created, and that's how you store values in it. Now if you want to print it, so if for example you here you give a print command, printf, and you say %d like I showed you there, and comma, and then you say HR sub 0, okay, that will print which element? What is HR sub 0? 5, the first one, okay. And if we, yeah, so it will only print 1 because we are not doing anything, we're just printing HR sub 0. So if I'll come to that. So let's finish this first. So if we look at it, right, so I just want to, sorry, I want to make sure you get it right. So I want to say salary 0, and then I want to say this, and I will put a \n here, okay. And if I do that, because I just want to mimic exactly what I did up there, replicate that. So if I do that, you see here it says salary sub 0, 5, and on top of it we use it through the variable here, we did it with array. So if I put here, instead of sub 1 this, if I put here 2, okay, so what would that print? If you look at it again, right, if you look at this, let me actually do this a little bit up like this. If we look at it, salary sub 2 is actually, I want to do this, I can remove this top bit so that we can make use of the space. Okay, so salary sub 2 here, this one is basically, this is salary HR sub, sorry, not salary sub, HR sub. HR sub 1, 0, 2, 1, and this is 2, and that's basically 10. So if I do a salary sub 2, HR sub 2, forgive me, I keep saying HR as a salary, this is HR sub 2. HR sub 2, that is basically 10. So if I run this, it will print 10 because that's the value it's going to print. because this will go into HR sub 0, this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3, and it goes in a sequence in which you put, okay, with a comma. And if we, let's say, put here something else, let's say we increase this, instead of 5 we say 6, so that means we can put another value, right? We can put another value, 19 for example, but we don't need 6, we just need 5 for the time being. So I'm going to remove back, but now this is 5 elements, so these are 5 values, and if I do 2, and like I said, it will print 10. So let's do it and see what it prints. See, it prints 10. Now there is an added advantage with an array. That array can be printed with a loop, okay. So as you see, it starts from 0 and go all the way to 4, right? So if we, instead of here, we define a loop, right, with an I, and we say integer I is equal to 0, because the array starts from 0, and I is less than 5, because the last element of array of 5 is basically 4, so that's why we're saying less than 5, and I plus plus. This way we can simply put here I instead of 0, 1, 2, and the first time when the loop run, the value of I is 0, so it will print HR sub 0. And another thing we want to do is we want to change this one as well, otherwise it will keep printing 0, 0, 0. I mean, I just want to show you what it will do. So if we run it now, you'll see it will print exactly the same, but this time it's printing 0, 0, 0, 0, because it only the I changes and HR. So what we want to do is we want to put here is percentage D as well, and we want to put I, so now it will print salary sub 0, 1, 2, 3 exactly the way it did for the other one. If you look at it, so now we got exactly same output with a loop. So see how smart the working with arrays is, because if you look at the non-array variable, you have to do quite a lot with that. If you do with array, you just have a few statements, and if I run this program, you see there's an integer salary up there, and then there is a with a variable, and the same salary is printed with an array. And if I want to also print the pay rise for every employee, I could do that by simply saying pay rise, and then I would define exactly same number of arrays. And because this is a pay rise, so I want to do a bit of percentage with decimal point, so I could do a float array this time, and this would exactly, the first employee, let's say, would get 10.5% pay rise every year. Second employee will get 5.2% every year. Third employee will get 15.3, and fourth employee will get, let's say, 10.0, and last employee will get again 9.0. So these are, now I put the float there, and because there are 5 arrays, so it starts from 0 and 4, so these are 5 digits. So if I want to print that along with the salary, and I could say salary is equal to this, and pay rise, annual pay rise, and pay rise, I could just say pay rise for is equal to, and I could do the same thing with this one as well, you know, putting a digit there, and then equal to percent, and this time it would be float, isn't it? So I would have to do percentage F, and what I want to do is I want to print it 2 decimal point, so I will do this. So this, and I think you so far you have already understood what this percentage F and D corresponds to, and just for your understanding sake, I'm going to explain it again, that when I say this percentage, so that will be the first variable, this one will be printed there, this percentage, the second variable will be printed there. Now this percentage I need to put I again, pay rise 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's why I'm going to put comma I, and for this one I will put pay rise sub I. How I'll do that? I'll do that simply by putting I here, and comma pay rise sub I, and it will print there the pay rise. Now if I run this it will give you not only the salary but the pay rise. Imagine doing this without this loop and array becomes very difficult, because you have to declare a lot of variable again, like salary, you did salary sub 0, you have to declare pay rise sub 0, and here it is automatically done, and you also know which one to correspond to using the loop, and it's easier to print. Now this is a single dimension array, and this is all achieved through the single dimension array. If we and we learn how we can even make it better, the salary and pay rise. We don't have to have two different pay rise and HR. We can do both things in a single array called two-dimension array, and that's what we learn in the next lecture.